Hello and welcome to Fergie's Gum. I'm your host Nathan Irvine and I'm joined as always in crystal clear HD this week by Mr. Paul Cropper. How you doing, mate? You got a new camera?
I'm all right. Look at that there. Brilliant. $2.99 Temu special. Get that in there. Just to make the dinner ladies happy.
Was it a Temu special?
Of course it is, yeah. Yeah, don't pay full price for it. Get it imported. Mute it. Wait till nearly 4 years to turn up. But it's here.
Did you order it the first time we started doing our podcast?
Yeah. You kept saying it looks like I've been filming on a potato, doesn't it? So I needed to upgrade. So we're here now.
Fair play. Fair play.
Stay at that. You see everything on there, can't you?
You can, mate. The light is bouncing off your head. It looks like a halo, which is,
yeah.
I guess that's a good look, mate. I guess it's a good look.
Of course it is. That's what I was going for.
It's nice, a halo on a red
especially for you.
Yeah. Before we get into the results, obviously we played 2 games since last time we did the episode. We've done West Ham last night and then Spurs was on the weekend. But the first thing, what we're going to do is, you, Paul, are going to give us, are you ready? The National Lottery numbers for tonight, because you seem to be Mystic Paul. Went into your crystal ball last week. I don't know if anyone listened to the podcast last week or if they remember, but Cropper called it specifically saying if you got about Christian Romero, he's a red card waiting to happen. And what happened on the weekend? Off. Straight red, because he's a lunatic. So yeah, if you could just give us the lottery tickets, mate, we'll crack on straight after that.
Money well made, Yaka, everyone. Happiness is within. And 3 points, obviously.
Wasn't expecting you to get philosophical on me, but there we go.
I've got it in me, mate. Got it in me.
He's got it in his locker.
He's an idiot, isn't he? I think a lot of people could have said that lad could have got sent off. But
yeah,
call it. Should have put money on it. Should have put a tenner on it, shouldn't have.
Should have done, mate. Should have done. While we're talking about Spurs and Christian Romero, it's worth. We'll talk about the West Ham game which took place last night, but we'll go to the Spurs game. 2-0, Manchester United ran out. Winners. Pretty easy, pretty routine win in the end. I did think up until the point when Romero got sent off, Spurs were more than in it. They were finding spots around. I think Fulham did the same thing when they came to Old Trafford as well. They were finding little triangles, little pockets of space to try and exploit. I think we still would have won, but felt like a routine victory. What about you, mate?
Yeah, same. Well, yeah, like you said, they were in it, weren't they? They had a couple of chances. Conor Gallagher had a decent chance, didn't he? But, yeah, it was nicely warming up. It was a good game, wasn't it? End to end, and both teams were actually going for it. But yeah, routine win in the end. I'm happy with routine wins.
I mean, it isn't. Speaking of routines, that corner kick routine was superb. It was superb. I've seen Liverpool fans trying to own that goal. Oh, you copied it from us when Salah did the same thing. Lads, really? You didn't create it. You didn't create it.
Johnny Evans did. Johnny Evans did all that. Have that.
Exactly. But yeah, lovely ball in from Bruno, straight to Cobby. Cobby lays it off. And I think in Bumo, it was like a worm burner. It just stayed on the floor, didn't it? It just rolled into the bottom corner. If you'd have been an opposing fan, and I've seen many of a Spurs fan losing their head over that goal, you'd have been furious because it looked like it walked in with a Zimmer frame. But it was just perfectly placed.
Keeper made some good saves for him, didn't he? I thought he had a good game, to be honest. And just to let that one, just always have 2 lads on the post. Something you should always do. Front and back. Don't do it nowadays, do they, front and back?
No, they don't. It's a weird one. Yeah, that was always used to be the big shout in Sunday League. Yeah.
Smallest lads. Smallest lads.
Get on the post. I was always stood on the halfway line waiting for someone to leave it out.
I bet you were.
Yeah. Playing in the hallway, you don't do any running whatsoever. Bruno Fernandes's goal was fantastic as well. Controlled it in off his shin. A great ball from Dallo, who I thought had a really good game. I think all of them played really well. I know obviously they were down to 10 men, but the heartening thing for me watching that Spurs game was that they didn't want to take their foot off their throat. It was, we want to keep going for more. And after that game against Everton, when they went down to 10 men, and obviously Manchester United lost under Ruben Amorim, did he bring on 2 more defenders in that game, I think?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Kept 5 at the back. So
He
it was
definitely get fair.
it was night and day. So I thought it was a good result. The one thing that I did want to just talk about, and because obviously that Spurs game feels like a lifetime ago, did it feel like before Christian Romero got sent off, were there signs there that Manchester United could be got at? Did you feel like it was? I'm trying to phrase it correctly. Basically, we've been thinking, oh, these players are great. They're really good. They are better than what we've been told. But did it show some frailties in the team, in the midfield specifically, that yes, we are going to have to address them in the summer?
Possibly. I can see why you're taking an angle, because Spurs did have a few, what, not opportunities, but they didn't seem like we were overwhelming them in the midfield, did it? Looked like they still had a bit of time in the centre of the pitch. Good players find space there for nothing, and I think they did do, until you clamp down on them. The sending off killed them, did it, like you say? But yeah, I can see what you're saying. And with the game last night, I think it's still highlighted a few of those frailties, which is probably why you're bringing it up now. If we would have won last night, probably wouldn't be mentioning that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the United strand, he's going to get a mention everywhere. So we're going to mention him on the podcast as well. He's got another 5 games to wait until he can get a haircut. So there we go. It just seems
He's
destined
taking a
that
bit of
he's gonna
stick in
be.
it.
Well,
He's
I
taking
think
a bit of stick.
rightly so, because he is. It's not him that's done this; it's the media around it. But the fact that his haircut is based on Manchester United's failure, I think Manchester United fans have kind of had enough of him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're all you're doing is highlighting the fact that we haven't put a run of 5 games on the spin in the can. That's it. So I think he's probably had his day. I described him as and then again, this is really niche. There's a Simpsons episode where Homer scores a perfect game in bowling. He gets a 300 game in bowling, and then he's like invited onto celebrity squares and all these other things, and basically everyone's like, "Hey, brilliant! Yeah, he's done it. Homer's done it. He's fantastic." And by about day 2, he's still trying to live off the fame of it, and everyone's got tired of him, and they're like, "Get him out of here." But that's kind of what I think about United Strand. Anyway, not here to talk about him. Here to talk about West Ham United. West Ham United won. Manchester United won.
Oh,
I was fast asleep because I had a bad feeling about the game, and it was on a midnight here. Tell me about it, mate. Was it 2 points lost or a point gained?
point gained, I think, mate. It was very drab. You didn't miss anything. I've just tried to watch the highlights and thought, I don't want to do this. No, it's not many. I don't want to watch the highlights. But unbeaten in what, 9 is it now?
9,
I
yeah.
think it's the longest unbeaten in the league at the minute. So
It is.
I've said it. I've continuously said it. Win your home games and be hard to beat away from home, and you'll hopefully finish in top 6, top 4. That's what we're looking at. So yeah, the past 2 games I think have shown maybe don't get too carried away with carrot ball like everybody was. But yeah, that one last night, West Ham didn't really come to win. They settled well. They defended really well, West Ham, to be honest. That's the second time we're playing them this season, and they have defended very well. And they get stuck in, they get men behind the ball, hard to break down. This low block that everyone talks about that we struggle to break down, it was evident again there that we do. If teams come at us and there's gaps away, we're very, very good at playing on account of the pace. But a few players had struggled last night. I thought Ahmad was one who struggled again. That fullback that they've got, he's an animal, that lad, and Ahmad couldn't get past him all game. Fernandez in the middle of the pitch for them, thought it looked good. Yeah, they've got some decent players, West Ham, but they did set up to spoil. And once they got the goal, I thought, oh no, that's we really, and they just ruined the game, stop-start game, like they did at Old Trafford, to be honest with you. So it was expected. I thought if we'd have got the first goal, it would have made the game a better spectacle and would have made it better for United. But it is what it is. Laniero, when he came on, deserves a mention because he made 2 brilliant tackles to stop them going 2-3 0. So yeah, great finish from Benjamin Sesko as well.
Well, Nuno Espirito Santo, he's famous for that low block and that tight defense, and I think he's finally managed to get that to work for West Ham. And they've been on a decent run themselves. I think they're unbeaten in 4 or 5, maybe.
Right.
I think.
Okay.
So they're trying to push themselves out of the relegation zone, and he's got them playing in a way that's going to get them points. So it was a rough time to kind of face them last night. But I think when you say about, we struggled against the low block, obviously I watched the highlights this morning. We still had to beat that low block, and we beat it in such a fantastic way that can you really say we do struggle against it? Because all I saw was West Ham camped back in their box. Manchester United, I saw an alternative view from the stands where a United fan was filming it and he was going, it's going too slow, get it into the box, or what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. And he's commentating as he's filming. And then obviously Mbumo plays that ball in. They do it methodically, playing it around, get the ball in, and Sesko, I mean, it feels like the United players at the moment are having a goal of the season competition between themselves. That was, I think that's better than Dorgu's, and I think it's better than Cunha's. I think it's
big
better.
shout.
Yeah, mate, you watch that again. The technique, the only place he can put it is on that postage stamp in that top corner. That's the only place he can put it. And you do not see goals like that often. That's a beauty.
He's flicked his big toe. He's flicked his big toe at it, and it's size 14s.
But he's gone for goal. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, his striker's instincts. He's put it in there. Is it 4 goals in 5 games now, or 5 games?
4 in 5.
4 in 5.
Or 5 and 6. 5 and 6. It's like I've just read it. Yeah.
So when you say about like we're struggling against the low block, we still had to go and score that goal with them in a low block. I thought that was promising for me. I know I didn't watch the whole game.
Yeah.
But
it was very sorry. It was very. They started the game like everyone was happy just to keep the ball. Both teams, to be fair, once they got it,
right,
they'd recycle it and just keep it. And it was very methodical and like a Serie A game, to be honest with you. You know where so Martinez would get it, and instead of he was trying to find the passes, and then it just come back to him, and then he'd recycle it to Maguire, and then it was, and both teams did that. Nobody was really pressing 100 mile an hour and one would go, but then it gets square. It was very frustrating to watch. Is probably the word. A point at the end of the day. But West Ham will feel they deserve more, but we'll be able to take a point and bring it back up north.
I haven't won there at the London Stadium for 4 years. I don't think.
Wow. Okay.
So I think the last time we won was when Jesse Lingard scored. So that's how far we're going back in that blue kit. Do you remember that blue and white kit that we had?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, it's nothing. You can't expect anything in the Premier League, and this is one of this Premier League season. Although it's been short of quality, I would say, and short of a dominant force, it has also shown that any team can beat any team on their day. And I think that's what's happening. The thing that helped us out was Leeds United. They were 2-0 down against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. No one thought they were going to come back. Everyone thought they were going to be dead and buried, but they came back and they got a draw. Cole Palmer skied it as well. I don't know if he saw his miss.
I've not seen anything from last night apart from United. Went straight to bed.
93rd minute, cross came in. Cole Palmer, who'd already scored and assisted, I think.
Okay.
He's auditioning to be the leading man at Manchester United next season. But he was running inside the 6-yard box, and it was one of those. How has he missed? How has he missed that?
Wow.
Inside the 6-yard box, skied it over the bar. So it was, that's a positive. Liverpool played tonight, I think. I think they play against Sunderland. So we'll be hoping that the Black Cats can do us a favour there. But it's still very much in Manchester United's hands to get into the Champions League. And I do think it should be Champions League the target now. Do you think that Europa League or Conference League would suffice at this point?
We'd be disappointed, wouldn't we? Just because the opportunity is there to go and get it. And I don't think the door was open. Christmas time we were thinking, I kept saying top 8, top 10, and just progression from last year. And now with the other teams not quite firing, the opportunity is there, which is another reason why I'm disappointed we didn't go in the transfer window in January, because I feel like we could have kicked on and fully secured it. But the club have obviously decided that they think they've got enough. Just looking at the table, they're 1 point ahead of Chelsea, aren't they? It's there, isn't it, Nathan? The opportunity is there. It's down to the players now to take it, and the management just to push on and try and get it. Keep picking up points.
Well, the next game is, it's ages away. I think it's 2 weeks away. Or is it 3 weeks? No, it's 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away, yeah. Is it an international break, Nathan? Is it?
FA Cup, I think.
Oh,
possibly.
yeah. Yep.
So there was talk that the United team were going to be coming out to Dubai or playing a friendly in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, but it seems to be that that's been knocked on the head now. Carrick wants them on the training ground. According to reports, he just wants them to be training at Carrington because he says every game that they're playing together on the training pitches is helping them. So
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. The next game that we've got is Everton away, who got beat last night. They're on a bit of a weird run, Everton, and they're always a trickier opponent to go up against. Crystal Palace then at home, then Newcastle away, who are going through their own problems, but also got a win last night against Spurs. Then it's Villa at home, Bournemouth away, Leeds at home, then Chelsea away by April 18th. Looking at those results and just reading those out, where do you think we should be after those games? April 18th is when that Chelsea game is on. If we get where do you think United should be in that position or after that?
Oh, we'll either be fourth, fifth, or sixth. I don't see us going third, second, anything. There's a lot of people say we were on a title charge, weren't they? Don't you forget all that. But yeah, stay around fourth, fifth, and sixth because Liverpool will keep dropping points, won't they? Chelsea has seen keep dropping points. You have to just keep picking the points up. You have to win your home games. They're massively important, your home games, because that's where you do push up the league if you keep winning and don't get battered. Well, to games like Newcastle away, these are where when United come to town, these teams lift it, don't they? They just lift it. So they're the ones where you'll see. But that also plays into our hands where you've seen when teams come at us, it leaves a space at the back for us to actually counter-attack. So that plays into our counter-attacking hands, if you like. So yeah, I'm optimistic. I said last night before the game, you asked for predictions, and I said we've got goals in us. Sod's law that we just didn't look like scoring until the 94th minute or wherever it was. But
Yeah.
I think away from home against teams that do come at you, West Ham just sitting, like I said, I think we have got goals. I'd be starting Benjamin Sesko. I would be. The manager will be having to think about that now as well.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to ask you as well, because obviously I didn't watch the game, but he started Cunha up front. Apparently, Cunha didn't have a very good game. You can give me your assessment on that in a second. But Benjamin Sesko's, is he playing his way into that team now? Should he be starting as the focal point up front?
Yeah. Well, what happened last night was they kept getting the ball wide or they kept getting it into the final third, and then there was nobody occupying the two centre halves because Cunha was getting frustrated standing up top. He'd come deeper, and then when they swapped that around and Boomer went up top, he was then getting frustrated and going out wide. So you eventually ended up with having either Bruno trying to make these runs through the middle and nothing being looked for because they were trying to keep the ball, or nobody stood in the width of the 18-yard box. And you're not going to score goals like that. You need people in the box. And that's what we've been doing for the past, 3 games? We've been getting floods of people into the box. And Dorgu was making runs. It was a big... I don't think people understand the actual how much we'll miss Dorgu's, just his runs, because he'd make runs past the final man, and he'd create space then for Cunha to drop in deep and pick up it in the pocket further up the pitch. And that just didn't happen last night. And Cunha will have games like that where he just gets forced out of it because there's no space for him to work in. Yeah, but Bruno, Cunha, and Bumo, and then Ahmad, they did struggle last night to find space and to actually get anything going forward. But they spoiled it, West Ham, like I said. They just kept falling over and just it ruins your momentum as well. So, yeah, you're going to have to deal with that.
And just a little word on Michael Carrick then, because right at the beginning of this section, you mentioned that, won't get carried away with Carrick ball just yet. Was there things there that you thought from last night that you just thought, not sure?
I've thought it since he got the job, but I'll leave that for the Gummers mailbag because I've got a question.
Okay.
Took a bit of stick off brother-in-law.
Fair enough. Well, let's do the Gummers mailbag right now. Before we get on to the Gummers mailbag, thought we'd just have a dip back into the Fergie's Gum newsletter, the free newsletter that we do every Friday, or I think we do at least one. It's on a Friday, and then you might get a bonus one if you sign up for it. You can sign up through
Brucey bonus.
With Mr. Paul Cropper's player ratings as well every now and again.
Right.
So So we got that in there. You can go to fergiesgunpodcast.com and you will find the subscribe button, which is on Substack, and then you can get it through there. Last week, I did a newsletter about the outs, Manchester United's summer transfer business, which is still up there now. Paul, you didn't receive it, so I thought it might be a good opportunity. He did. He tells me he reads them on the toilet, but he mustn't have needed a poo for the last week or so. But so we'll go through it now. You've got it there. We're going to go through the outs, which I did last week, and basically these are the ones that would we keep them in the squad or would we get rid of them? So we'll just go through them quickly, and we'll start with goalkeepers, mate. Senna Lammens.
No brainer, like you've put there, yeah. No brainer. I think he's been brilliant, Lammens, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just you imagine him just be sat at home painting or something like that, can't you? Just all playing chess, listening to opera or something like that. Then again, I bet he's into that mental at German art house or something like that. Or he's just I don't know. I like him though. I like his aura. He's got belting aura, that lad.
By comparison, man, he's Andre Onana just in his kitchen, just full of broken crockery, just lying on the floor, just skidding over everywhere.
No, just eating Play-Doh.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Lammens, obviously. I don't think I've actually given him enough props on this podcast, to be fair, for what he's done. Just come in and done what you want from a goalkeeper. And because we don't talk about him every week, we kind of just brush it to the side. Oh, he's doing what a goalkeeper does. But what we've had to put up with is United fans, the past, what? Is it 3-4 years? Is that what we've had to deal with?
Who was our last good goalkeeper? De Gea, right?
Well, you know my thoughts on Dave, don't you? So
you love him, right?
No.
Well, but
no
then
words in my mouth.
But then again, you went off him when he couldn't play the system that we needed him to under Erik ten Hag. But if you look at the team now, we're not playing out from the goalkeeper that much anymore. A lot of it is just, save the ball, catch the ball, and hoof it out. That was De Gea could do that.
No, people forget it. People forget I've had loads of abuse for not sticking up for David De Gea. People tell me he's like the best goalkeeper ever. No.
Right. Fair enough. Well, that's
Lammens, brilliant. Just what he wants. And he's a young kid as well, isn't he? Young kid.
We're keeping him. Bayern Day.
Ciao. Out that door, sir. Yes.
Wants him out. As I put in the newsletter, he's 27. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's not a young lad. He needs to be playing regular football, like for his own career, really. So I think he needs to be out there. Tom Heaton.
I keep Tom Heaton. Why not? He seems to be very, very well liked around the squad, doesn't he? When the people talk about him, they only ever say good things, don't they? Why not keep him? Experience around the club.
It seems to be a position that a lot of Premier League teams have now, isn't it? This goalkeeper that isn't expected to play, but is just there for, I don't know, helping out the younger lads. So yeah, Tom Heaton, keep him.
Nothing wrong with
that. We've had no disagreements. Andre Onana, I think we can probably both agree on that one as well.
Yeah, there's no questions there, is there? He released something this week, didn't he? Saying I can't wait to come back to Manchester United next season and help them win the league.
Balls. It was rubbish. It wasn't even true. Because it was Ethan that sent it me. Sorry to call you out here, Ethan, but as soon as I got it sent, obviously, I work in journalism. I look at websites pretty much all day, every day. I look at football news all day, every day on Twitter. I know the style that people put in, right? I know when something looks off. And just the text formatting, because it was from, it was trying to made out to be like an ESPN thing, or ESPN FC, I think it is now. And it just didn't look right. So it was just, it just came from an unofficial fan site, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go back to Manchester United and help them win the league next season. No, did not happen.
Oh yeah, it's not happening.
Did not happen. Right, okay, on to defenders. Diogo Dalot.
I can see you put Keith there, Nathan. Did you mistype that or?
Well, got my reasons in there. Got my reasons.
As much as I'll just read it out at the top, as much as he can frustrate United fans, talk about going low there as much as he could. Yeah, I can tell you didn't watch game last night, didn't you? Oh, his crossing was awful again.
This was written 5 days ago, mate. I would have had to have had your superpowers and mystic powers to look into the future and see it.
Yeah.
There's,
My
there's no
gypsy
way.
powers that I've got.
There's no, there would have been no way.
Yeah,
So you're not having it. You're not having it. You want him out.
I can never, unfortunately, not unfortunate. I can't ever have Diogo Dalot in the United 11. We're
Okay.
got any ambitions of
No,
doing anything.
I'm not saying in
do you
the 11. I'm not saying in the 11. I'm
He-
saying as a squad player.
If he's a squad player, he's going to get on the pitch eventually, though, isn't he? I don't particularly want
He might just come on to do a high five at full time.
Yeah, he would do. He'd just come on, wouldn't he? Full kit, just to high five everyone. Let's go, get off. You know what? He's had a bit of a resurgence in form, hasn't he? And he's done okay in the fullback role. Last night, again, was back to a normal, not defensively, just, you know, when there's bits of play and you think, oh, this is promising. And then he just boots the ball out and you're like, why have you done that? Why have you just gone mental? Then he did it 3 or 4 times where you got, like I said, they recycled the ball and it comes to the right hand side. And then you're like, right, put the ball in now. And he just puts a cross in that misses everyone out and ends up going out for a throw in. I think he did it 3 times. He's not the only one, to be fair, last night that did it, but that's normal Diogo Dalot. And when I said he's had a bit of a resurgence of form, he's not had anything over a 7 out of 10, has he? He's still, he's never going to give you what we need from a fullback. And it's such a big position, I think, fullback, attacking wise and defensive wise, that I just feel like, no.
We've always had players like that, though. Phil Neville, John O'Shea, utility
Yeah, we have,
men that can just, you know, play a number of positions.
Fill in.
Quinton Fortune, you know, we've had those players that can do it. So you're saying no, though. You're saying Diogo Dalot has to go. Okay, fair enough.
Saying if
enough.
Madrid come in with that 45 million they were offering, snatch your hand off.
Right. I mean, even I'm selling him at that point.
I'm not having the next one. I'm not having keep Dalot and then the next one. I've just seen it. What's all that about?
You're not the only one. You're not the only one to disagree. Jab left a message on a comment on the newsletter saying that he's not having it either. That getting rid of Mazraoui. Now, I do have my point. I do. Like, I make a case for it. I just don't think he's a starting Manchester United right back. I just don't see it.
He's better than Dalot for me, mate. He is.
But it's not a competition between the two of them. I'm just saying that out of the squad of should they go or should they stay, Mazraoui won't be starting for Manchester United because he's too one-dimensional. You know exactly what you're going to get from him, and I just don't think he works in that position.
I think once Mazraoui takes that right back position, Dalot won't get back in the team again because you'll see how much better Mazraoui is. Not levels and levels above him, like he's a world-class right back. He's just better than Dalot at everything. He's a better defender, he's better on the ball, and he's better going forward. In my opinion.
Right. So we disagree on that one as well. Dorgu, obvious one. We're keeping him. Yeah. Luke Shaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gone sell. Right. So we're agreeing. We should sell him.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think
he's done well, Luke Shaw, to be fair. Recently, this season, hasn't he? He has done well. Yeah.
It was his mistake that cost the goal though last night. I will say that. He shouldn't have dived in when he did. Yes. But you can't just get rid of someone based on one mistake. It has to be a catalogue of errors. And I think he's done really well. He's done really well. And obviously this isn't based on last night's game. But I just think that he's been through so many managers now. Like, if you're going to change things up at the back, you need to make sure that you've got a really, really good starting left back that can play in there. So that's why I would sell him. And he's one of those players that will have a target on his back because Ratcliffe is looking to lower the wage bill. And do you remember that little video message he sent before the Euros? Because Luke Shaw hadn't played all season and Ratcliffe was like, don't get injured or watch your hamstrings or something like that. And then he came back and didn't play. So you know, he's got a point. Harry Maguire.
Keep.
There's talk that he's renegotiating his deal. with Manchester
Yeah,
United.
it has to be, he'll have to drop his wage demands on it. I know I have said release. I think I said last week, sell him actually, but this is how fickle Cropper is in HD. Um, if he drops his wage demands, they might look at keeping him. But
I think he will. I think he's already. It's rumored that he will. He doesn't seem like the type of player that is completely motivated by cash. I think it's all
no,
about playing and doing his best, and I don't think he's that type of character. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he bloody loves money, but
I'm happy with all
I
our
think
centre halves, to be honest, Nathan. I'm happy with them all.
yeah, yeah, I can't argue with that. So we can just probably skip over Lisandro Martinez. I've put keep him. Just need to keep him
Definitely.
fit.
Yeah.
Matthias de Ligt, same thing. I mean, still no update on when he's going to be back playing for Manchester United. It's a bit of a worry.
Mm.
On De Ligt. What do you think's going on? Do you think it's that? Is it the back injury? Is it something more sinister? I don't think it's
Uh,
anything salacious as we discussed last week, but it's.
yeah,
I think there's an issue there.
it's not the first time that this where something has not come out, it's been confirmed about the injury, is it, with United? They do it quite a lot, to be fair, so we don't know, do we? Obviously, we don't know, we're just guessing, but for him to, how long has it been out now? Feels like 6, 8 weeks? Feels like a
It
while,
feels
doesn't it?
yeah, it feels like longer than
Yeah.
that. But
Because he
yeah,
was in a very, very good run of form. I thought you were brilliant.
yeah.
I thought you were our best centre half, and then this is where Abby Maguire, just to step in and not really see a drop off, is really helped. That's probably what's turned me around to keeping
I guess
Max.
one of the Manchester United defenders has to carry the injury curse at some point in time, so it must be De
Pass it
Ligt.
around with him like that
Yeah,
stupid suit that worst trainer of the week gets. Pass it
yeah,
around with
yeah,
injuries like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of a person that wore that suit, Lenny Yoro's obviously a keep. He's going nowhere. He's definitely one for the future. Tyler Fredrickson. He's a man that hasn't played any football for Manchester United this season, I don't think.
He's actually been given opportunities to play, he has struggled. I think he's been thrown in a struggling team, and he's never been given the opportunity when we've been on front foot or in what's the word? Riding a crest of wave.
Crest of a wave. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
one. Yeah, well, we're doing well, and he's never been put in and gone, right, we're actually playing well. There you go. You have
Yeah,
an opportunity. So I feel for him. Yeah, but yeah,
I
keep.
would I would keep him. I think, as I've said, he needs a. I think he could do with the Premier League loan, or I don't think Championship loan is going to do him any good. Is he 21 now? I think Fredrickson, might be wrong, but he needs to be playing at the top level. I think to see if he has what it takes for Manchester United. Speaking of which, but I think this is an obvious one. Aiden Heaven, he's going nowhere.
Really like
He's,
having you.
he's going nowhere. It's a bit sad that he's not getting any game time at the moment, but this is what happens when you crash out of every bloody competition. When you're not in any competition, you're playing one game a week or one game every 2 weeks, as it is at the moment. You know, they're not going to get the opportunities that they need. So I'm just hoping that they can keep this squad together, and none of these young lads are agitating for a move just yet. Terrell Malacia, I mean, he's getting released. You can't even sell him. He's getting released at the end of the season, right?
Well,
He's
Les
just.
Wilcox has his way. I think you just let him get on a private jet and called him back, didn't he? Come back here, sunshine. Where are you going?
I can see why he did that, because we don't have many options. Or, like with Dorgu out, you want to have another option that can play left or right wing back. You know, because if Dallo gets injured, then you really are screwed. So yeah, I get it. He's gone. What a terrible career he's had at Manchester United. I feel so sorry for him. Like, he seems like a nice lad, but bloody hell, surgeries, injuries, failed loans. Ugh, grim. Diego Leon, the forgotten man. He played for the under-21s the other night, actually. I
Right,
saw.
okay.
I think they
Yeah,
drew.
just needs games, doesn't he? A lot of
Yeah,
these kids aren't going to get games, are they? A lot of them.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But he does. I think he's one of those players that he could develop into a little bit like a Heinzer. You know, the way that he was
Yeah,
down that
or a
flank.
Rojo,
Just yeah,
just a nutter.
Yeah, just an angry young man on the left wing back, and I love that. I'll take that all day. Harry Hamas is an obvious keep. He's at Norwich City until the rest of the season. Although he picked up an injury, didn't he? And I don't know
I
whether that's
believe so.
cost him or not.
Yeah, I think it was quite a bad one it as well, to be honest, from what I read.
Yeah, so he might be back at Carrington. I'll have to double check on that. I did say that this bit was going to be short, but we are nearly there. Midfielders, I've gone in hard at the
I've
top
just
one.
flipped. I've just flicked through them and thought, well, that's 0 midfield we've got at the beginning of the next
I know.
season. You just sold them all. You sold them
I'm,
all, Nathan.
I'm
Well,
not
you
having
trying to
it
raise
anymore.
money for something or what? Yeah.
Well, yeah, for better midfielders that are more consistent
right.
and don't get injured all the time.
Yeah.
Mason Mount is the top one on there. Have I been unfair?
No. Just can't stay fit though, can he? Unfortunately, he gets a good run of 2 or 3 games and then he's out for another 10. He's not going to. I don't see where his position is either in this formation, in this team. I would look at moving Mason Mount, unfortunately, for him.
It's one of those things as well that when Ineos came in, I can't remember if it was Omar Barada or if it was Ratcliffe's order that if a player doesn't kick on after 2 years or 18 months, then
18 months.
then they're going to be moved on. And I feel that's the same with Mason Mount. Like, I don't think you're going to get much more out of him. I think his legs are shot to bits. Constantly, as you say, constantly picks up injuries. I just can't see him getting on any further. And I say that as someone that actually likes Mason Mount, but when you've got aspirations to win the league next season and challenging on all fronts, you can't have players like that are taking up a salary and a shirt, a number 7, lest we forget.
And who does he get in the team ahead of? Don't see it.
Yeah, exactly, mate. I'm going to save the next person to last in this group of midfielders because I don't want to go into that one just yet because I think there's a bit more of a debate to go with that. Casemiro already gone. Although if Harry Maguire's going back to the negotiating table, would you with Casemiro? Would you have another chat with him? No, he's not having it.
He was unlucky last night
out.
with a goal. It's another good header. Was that a header? Yeah, he took his goal well, but it was just outside, just offside. But he was unlucky with that. Don't know what he's doing, the furthest man forward. Like I said, he probably looked and thought, nobody's playing up front, I'll do it. Yeah, Casemiro, it's the right thing to do. Move on.
Just
let
let him go.
He moves on. Yeah.
Fair enough. Ugarte, I've gone sell.
Yeah, I think that's an obvious one.
I got a comment on there that says they wouldn't sell him. Oh, that's from Jab as well. He said he wouldn't sell Ugarte because he doesn't feel like the quality does dip when he comes on. But I don't know. I can't see it. Everyone sees.
Jab must be on the wind up. He must be on the wind up.
The thing is, when everyone watches a game differently, don't they? Like if you've already got it in your head that this person's not a very good player, you will those
highlights
moments, the lowlights, highlights, whatever it is, they'll always be bigger than what you intended, than what they actually are. So, I mean, I'd still get rid of him. I just don't think he's Premier League quality. I don't think he's I don't even think he's a good squad player. I think he's probably keeping a place from some younger lad that could come through and take that opportunity. So, yeah, he's out for me. Kobbie Mainoo, obviously keep. Unbelievable that we almost got rid of him last season for that Portuguese fraud. Unreal.
New contract, please.
Yeah, exactly. Well, new contract, again, we talked about this. I talked about it with Ahmad on a couple of podcasts ago. Apparently that contract was already agreed with Manchester United, with Wilcox, with Omar Barada, but it was Ruben Amorim that didn't want to sign off on it. Again, just reports, just rumours, but given everything that we know and the fact that he'd never played any games under Ruben Amorim, it's not hard to get that leap of imagination and go, oh yeah, he doesn't like Kobbie, and probably did restrict him from having that. Unreal. Anyway, Toby Collier.
Tell. Yeah, move on.
Yeah. Dan Gore, just... There's some players, and I know I said this, it's not nice, but there are some players that you just know that aren't going to make it at Manchester United, and I feel like Dan Gore's one of them. You can see him playing for Kilmarnock next year. at like full time. Do you know what I mean?
What's the rule making a living out of playing football? Not everyone gets to do
Exactly,
it at Old
mate. It's a
Trafford,
good
do they?
Manchester United is a very good foundation to go on to play
Exactly.
professional football later. Right. So the last one that was on that list, and obviously people know who's coming up next, Bruno Fernandes, mate. Now, before I say to the listeners what my response to that is, what's your take on Bruno Fernandes?
Ah, he's brilliant, Bruno, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, he is. He's
Feels like there's a caveat coming here, though. He's good,
no,
but
no. I'm keeping Bruno. I am keeping Bruno,
right.
and I think the way Bruno plays, you can see him not having a dip for the next 3 years again, can't you? And if we're going to sell him, you're going to get what was the talk? 50 odd million, 52 million or something like that. That was the price. No, because it'd take you double, treble to you'd have to spend, wouldn't you, to replace him?
Well, the
I'm keeping
Saudis want to
Bruno.
break the bank for him. The Saudis want to pay over that for him to try and prize him away. So it was close to 100 million. They need to really like restock the stars that are at the Saudi Pro League. So there's talk that they will come back in for him. You know, we haven't obviously talked about this on the podcast because it doesn't really cross us. But Cristiano Ronaldo, furious that Al Hilal were able to sign Karim Benzema, who have already got Darwin Núñez up front. And he sees it as favouritism, so he's been throwing all his toys out the pram at Al Nassr, refusing to play a couple of games. I think he might be back in the squad now, I don't know. But he doesn't fancy it. But my main point is the Saudi Pro League are rumoured, especially out here with the media as well, that they're going big this summer and they want stars that are going to be the succession plan to Cristiano Ronaldo. Not just one player at one club. They want it to be, you know, lots of players sprinkled across lots of different clubs. Bruno Fernandes is one of the names that they want. So
He's
100
already
mil,
turned down once, Nathan. I don't
100,
see
100
Bruno.
mil, 100 mil.
Ooh,
Tempting,
tempting, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But um, if Belieber's 100 million, Bruno's worth 3.
Well, we talked about that last week. There's no way that he's worth 100 million. But there's just no way. Carlos Belieber is not worth 100 million. He's not.
There's a couple of transfers that we'll talk about them in a bit properly, but the likes of Ndiaye from Everton, he's gonna cost you 60, 65 million. Bruno's worth more than that to Manchester United. What he is and what he's done. I don't see Bruno accepting an offer. If United actually come out and say no, we do want you to stay. I don't see him moving on, Nathan, and I'm quite glad at that, to be fair. Yeah, especially in that double pivot. You know what? When we have Ruben and we'll keep him moving, and I was it doesn't work for him. Move him on. We need to bring in two, but now he's in this role and he's able to do what he has been doing recently. I just don't see anybody better in Europe than Bruno at the minute. So why would you sell him? He's probably the most informed player in Europe in that position. Why would you move him on for any amount of money? Because you have to go and replace him then. Well,
the reason why you would move him on is because you'd be gambling either way that he's going to have another season like this next year. But as I said at the bottom of this, if the Saudis did decide that at 32 years old, which he'll be in September, we're going to give you 100 million for Bruno, and then you can use that money to restock the midfield for the future, not just for next season or the season after. That's why I think if that money comes in, you sell him.
Bruno can carry on playing the way he does because of his game. He can keep going, in my opinion. It don't matter, 32, 33, 34. I don't see him seeing games or... Yeah, it's unbelievable what Bruno does, to be fair, Peter. So I'm keeping.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the forwards. I've put him in there. Rasmus Højlund, mate.
I was like, what are you doing there?
He's back. He's sneaked in.
Look at that. What? I had to check the timestamp on it. I thought it was 12 months ago. No.
In.
Get out, Rasmus.
No. Oh, he loves Man United though.
Yeah, of course he does.
Ironically, he's a better striker than Joshua Zirkzee, who's also on the list.
Yeah, sell both.
Sell both. Fair enough. Cunha, Ahmad, Mbeumo, Sesko, and Chido Obi are all on that list, and we're keeping them all because there's no discussion there. Joshua
Cunha,
Xerxes,
Bruno.
sell. Rasmus Højlund, I said keep just because I thought he could be an option. He's already on the books. He already knows the club, so let's see how it goes. Ethan Wheatley, again, I would keep him. Needs to start scoring goals though, that lad. Still only got 3 in 25 for Northampton Town in League One. So he needs to start scoring if he's going to have a future at Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, some rumours about him, about Barca not being able to afford him and that he might end up back at United, whether he likes it or not. What are you saying?
Don't see it.
Sell?
I don't
No,
see it.
sell.
Barcelona are very good at that, aren't they? We can't afford you. Please, will you just take a little bit less?
Yeah, exactly.
Con men,
they know
sick
what
of
they're
it.
doing. And then I know you love this player, Jadon Sancho, mate. Bring him back.
Shouldn't even be on that list. Should he?
Get him back into that warm embrace of Old Trafford and Carrington. Yeah, Mr. Freedom.
Yeah.
Mr. Freedom fighter.
Just be glad to see back at him, won't we?
I know, exactly. He's getting his salary off the wage bill is going to be huge for Manchester United. Not that we'll see any of it, you know. Ticket prices will still go up. Shirt prices will still go up. If you do want to comment on that and make your feelings known about who we should keep and who we should sell, I'm sure you disagree with a lot of the picks that I've put in there and a lot of what Paul said as well. Nip on to fergiesgumpodcast.com. Go to the Substack where we have the newsletter and you can pop a comment down there. And don't forget to subscribe while you are there. Gummer's mailbag. Let's have it, mate. Who've we got this week?
Gummer's mailbag. Oh, from Christopher.
Go on then.
I've turned it. He just gave me a bit of steak, to be fair, so I've turned it into a question because he didn't. Why wouldn't I give Carrick the manager's job if he wins every game? We're playing the best football we have for years.
Well, I mean, you're probably going to say the same as me, but you just can't get carried away in these situations. You have to measure a bigger body of work than 4 games. And we've had a 5th game, we've got a draw. And I know he's won before, and I know he's capable of beating the big teams. I know that. But we haven't really seen what he can do against the lower league sides, is what I would say. I mean, we had a taste of it last night, and we drew 1-1 with West Ham. And I think you can rush into these things just based on the fact that it just feels good. We're all feeling good right now, right? Even despite drawing at West Ham, we're all feeling good about it. But I know Carrick is instrumental in that. And it's a risk either way. You let him go and he goes to Spurs or somewhere else and he has a good career, fantastic. You get someone like Tuchel or Luis Enrique and they have a shocker. It's like, what have you done? Why have you brought this guy in when Carrick was doing so well and he got us into Europe? It's a risk either way. But I think he's definitely in the conversation now, 100%. It's a great shop window for him to get a Premier League job next season. Is he the right man for Manchester United? I don't know. Let's wait until the end of the season and then circle back on it. He's not going anywhere. United will always be first option for him. Unless someone comes in now and says, right, we sacked Thomas Frank, for example. We've sacked him, we want you in next season. Or we want you to come now. He'll want Man United. And he's willing to wait. So I think you just have to wait and see how it all plays out before making a decision.
Yeah, I was the same thing. I mentioned last week about being scorned by the Ollie when he got sacked and him looking ruined. And I was trying to articulate it to Christopher why I wouldn't just go all in on. And I understand we're playing good football. I think that's got more to do with Kobe Mainu coming in and linking the play together and loving this passing and keep the ball moving. Bruno playing further up. That's something that every single football fan would have done as soon as they walked through the doors at Old Trafford. We'd have all gone to a back 4. We'd have all put Kobe Mainu in the team. We'd have all put Bruno in the 10. It's not rocket science what he's done, Carrick. The best thing they've done is bring Steve Holland in alongside him because I think that appointment's been absolutely brilliant for him. And he's probably Carrick's getting a lot more plaudits for what he's doing being the front man than some of the clever appointments they made in the background. Woodgate being another one. The way I kind of thought about it was, we need, if you've got aspirations of being the best club in the world, challenge for the best trophies, you need the best manager that's around. You just do. You do the same as when Jose Mourinho came in. He was the best manager at the time, and he came in and he just said, right, I am the best. This is where we're going to win things. You need a manager that's been there and done it, who's challenged for the best, who knows what it takes. Likes of Emery, likes of Tuchel, likes of Luis Enrique. They've all been in European finals. They've all been in European quarterfinals. They've all been in cup finals. They've all challenged for leagues. They've all won leagues. Emery won leagues. Just throwing that one out there.
I don't think
maybe
so.
not.
But I think he's won the
He's been what, about 8 European
Europa.
Cup finals on it. Yeah. I think he's won it 3 or 4 times on it. It's like getting in an Uber and the driver not knowing where he's going. You need him to know where he's going in the destination, and I've been there before. Yeah, it's the only way I can put it.
So
you need someone who knows what they're doing,
So
where they're going.
in this situation, is Carrick an Uber driver that doesn't know where he's going?
Has he ever been there as a manager?
Got GPS. He's got GPS in the
GPS.
Wait, he's got GPS in the shape of Steve Holland. Yeah, he's been there and done it. So I mean,
the only thing Michael Carrick's been there and done is get sacked at Middlesbrough.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I can say for definite has happened.
But
he had a good season at Middlesbrough, which he's also having a good few games at Manchester United.
Wait, let's go back. By your definition of what makes a good manager, you're talking about someone that's been there and done that has won something. May I bring to your attention one Ruben Amorim, who won the Portuguese league?
Yeah, you can.
Now that was a guy that had won something, anything. But now we're looking at Premier League experience. I think that's the big thing for us. That's the big thing. I think Manchester United, Premier League experience. Thomas Tuchel has it. So, you're probably going to be safe there. He'd be a safe bet. Luis Enrique, I think, is a risk. I don't think he'd leave. There's too much money and ambition at PSG to leave. And I think the structure is built around him. So he's got it good. It'd be very surprising if he did. Oliver Glasner, again, is he any better than Michael Carrick?
We don't know, do we?
It's difficult to know. Emery's probably the best placed person for it, but would he leave Villa? I just can't. I can't see it. I just can't see it. So to answer the question, by the end of the season, Michael Carrick, hopefully with everything if everything goes to plan, will be in the conversation to be the manager. But I wouldn't give it him after 5 games. Put it that way.
Okay.
The question that I've got here from Anders, we kind of touched on it before. Harry Maguire potentially signing a new deal at United. I have 2 questions. Does he deserve it? Is the first one. And then the second one, which we talked about before, should United then go back to the negotiation table with Casemiro? Now, we've answered the latter. We've said that he probably shouldn't do because, he's not going to always have this purple patch. He's only going to get worse as a player, depreciating asset, as we say in football and in business terms. Harry Maguire, though, does he deserve another contract at Manchester United?
Yes. Yeah, I think it does. I think whenever he's been questioned, he's just got his head down, not kicked off, not whinged, head down, proper personality, proper footballing man. Yeah, you can only see him being good, can't you? I think you said last week, was it last week? You said if there's so many experienced players leaving, and you were right. Listening back to it, you were right. Yeah, if Harry Maguire will be another good one to keep around the dressing room, money, an experienced man. Yeah,
you want to keep
I think he probably does deserve it. Yeah.
Keep some form of continuity, as long as it's not the scumbags that have been through lots of different managers and, keeping that toxic vibe in the changing rooms. That's another thing as well. Carrick will be able to spot that. He's been in those changing rooms. He'll know and will have more power than Solskjaer did at the time. Because remember, at that moment in time, Woodward, Richard Arnold, they were all about pandering to these superstars. your Pogbas, your Rashfords, your Jesse Lingards. Who did they bring in that it went terrible? Oh, what, Ronaldo? Bringing in Ronaldo, it all goes to pot when you bring those types of people in. But it feels now that there's a structure in place where these people won't be allowed to continue in the dressing room. Look at Garnacho, booted out. And the leaks of the team news have gone. Marcus
Yeah,
Rashford are out.
surprisingly.
Yeah, Rashford's out, Garnacho's out, and the team leaks have stopped. Who knew?
Well, these are the type of things that Harry Maguire wouldn't do. And he'd just get his head down, professional. Just be like, no, I'm happy to work, to graft for the sake of the team. When I get my opportunity, I'll take it. And he does, doesn't it, Maguire, to be fair. It's,
But
and he's got a good partnership with Martinez. But I was very, very surprised, Nathan, that he was the top earner at the club. When you think of the likes of Casemiro or Bruno, then it's Maguire. So you can see the club going, yeah, that's a big whack of money, that Harry Maguire.
It is, but then you can negotiate it down. If you can't negotiate it down, then obviously you say, right, get out. Like that's there's no two ways about it. You don't just go, oh please can you leave? He's actually not the second. He's not actually the third top earner. There's someone that's above him. Who is it?
Cunha?
No, he's just underneath him. He's fifth. He's on 180 grand basic per week.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not. Matthias de Ligt.
Oh, really? Wow.
He's on 195,000 a week, and Harry Maguire is on.
Wonder if that's why he's been dropped.
Yeah. Well, he's still got 4 years left on his contract as well.
Yeah, he got a big contract, didn't he?
And given the calculations here, according to Capology, that 4 years is worth 40 million, mate. 40 million. Delicious money. Right. I've got another one. Shall I do this next one and then you can do yours? I don't know if you heard it actually, but Linton has basically said, what did you make of Lineker's I would sue Ruben Amorim if I was Kobbie Mainoo's comments?
Bit of tongue in cheek, weren't they?
It was. It was a bit of fun, but like it's. I kind of like that scenario, thinking about it, because he made a good point afterwards. Obviously, you're not going to go and sue someone for ruining your career or whatever it is, taking a year off of it. But he does make a good point. He has, in any other line of work, that would be deemed as gross misconduct. It would be seen as like bringing the company down for the sake of your own personal vendetta. We'll never know until until Kobbie or Ruben writes their autobiography. We'll never know what happens. But I thought it was funny for Lineker. And definitely
something underhand has happened there, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
Because it was looking at the contract. It felt like it was the contract negotiations. Then he just wasn't in the team because apparently he couldn't run. And then it's come out that he can run more than everybody else.
That he can't play, and that he can't play with Bruno, and that he can't play with Casemiro, and he's only ever going to be Bruno's replacement. And when Bruno's injured, like even saying those things, you look back, and I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but even saying those things, he's laying the foundations there to basically say this guy's not good enough for this team. He's not a very good player. And I think there was a report. Who was it? Was it? Which podcast was I listening to? Was it The Athletic? They said Napoli couldn't believe that Kobbie Mainoo was going to be made available in January. They couldn't believe their luck that he was going to be made available. And apparently there was a couple of Premier League teams that got in touch as well and were like, is this real? Because we'll take him. Yeah. Like if he's ready to go on loan. So yeah.
That would have sent alarm bells going off, Nathan, in the clubs going, well, yeah, if they're ringing and they're asking him, why can't he be in her? Because I think you and Ahmad said it. If he was playing at Brighton or he was playing at Palace and he was playing like he was, he'd be the first name on the United list to bring in, wouldn't he? So
exactly. That.
Yeah.
We're not. He's not going to sue you. We're not going to sue him. It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah. Don't sue. Yeah. Well, you can see why, can't you? But do you know what? He's come back like with a rocket up his backside, Mainoo. So just take it. He's done you a favour. and now I'll show you. And now for the rest of his career, he'll be like, there you go, Ruben, have that, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully so. Where does just a quick tangent, where does Ruben go from here? We haven't really talked about that. I know he's sat on 10 million quid or
Counting his
whatever it
10
is.
million. Yeah, just like that. Like the
Fan-
DuckTales, you know, when he's
fan-
jumping in
fan-
coins.
Fanning himself with €100 notes. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, hot air on this beach. But where does he go? Does he go back to Portuguese league? Does he get another Premier League job? Serie A?
I don't see another Premier League team touching him, do you, Nathan?
Imagine
He'll be
imagine he got the
scarred. He'll
Spurs
be
job.
scarred. Ooh, I can see. You know what? You've just mentioned the Saudi league. I can see him over there, Ruben.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, let's move on.
Got a
from
deposit
that.
on a new gaff there, hasn't he,
The,
from Ineos? Yeah, thanks, lads.
the ghost of Old Trafford. Let's leave him in the past. Have you got one more there? Have you got another question there?
No. I'm done for all the old Fergie's come there.
That's
the
it. Then.
Mailbag.
That's it. And end of the podcast then. Well, we haven't
I've
got a game.
I've got two stories for the transfers. If you want to just touch on them ones,
Sure, why not? Throw them in there, mate.
It was just two that stood up for. So I've just put them now. Just wanted to get our thoughts on them really, because it's looking ahead to the transfer window. And the first one on the list, which has popped up quite a lot, was Sandro Tonali. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I think there was a bit of mischief making with his agent towards the end of the window, wasn't there? Because there was this rumour that came out that he'd been offered to Arsenal right at the end of the window. I think it might have been on transfer deadline day or the day before he'd been offered to Arsenal. Clearly, things are not all rosy at Newcastle. I know they got a win last night against Spurs, but then everyone's beating Spurs. Eddie Howe's struggling. He's even saying, "No, if I didn't think I was the right man, I'd walk away from it." I think one of the things is we all expected when the Saudis took over at Newcastle that they'd just be freewheeling, spending all types of money on players, and it didn't quite happen. I mean, they've signed Watamade, they've got Johan Visser, Ilanga, Harvey Barnes, and obviously Tonali and a few others. They haven't spent it well. I would say that Isak money didn't get spent very well. Elanga, I remember, such were the bad days at Manchester United. We was looking at Elanga when he'd gone, when he was at Nottingham Forest, and thinking, "Oh, we should have kept him, should have brought him in." He's had 1 assist all season.
Yeah,
he's just.
As people people were trying to tell me about Tomada's the next big thing, and I thought, really?
I think they meant just physically, mate. I think they just meant.
Yeah.
That's it. He's just tall. Everything has to be dramatised. Tonali, though, is an interesting one. He's not a name that's been linked before. I still think that he will go on a list. He'll be on every list of every Premier League side, that has aspirations to win the league. I think he'll be on every European side's list as well. I don't think that's anything new. It's just a surprising name.
Would he be at the top of the list above the likes of Anderson, believe?
And Anderson's at the top. Anderson's at the top of this list. That's what I believe. And I don't think by what I know, and I know this is going to sound ITK, but by what I know, I don't even think Carlos Baleba is number 2 on that list. He's liked, but he's not. It's not between him and Anderson. I'm fairly certain. And there's a lot of players that are being scouted at the moment, and there's a lot of players that are being looked at that I think it will be a surprise. Tonali will be on there. He'll be on there on the list, but they'll want a king's ransom for him. And will United go for that? Strengthening, technically taking away one of your best players, but clearly wants to leave, and then you're strengthening them by giving him that money. Or I guess they could squander it like they did the Isak money. But, they're giving him a load of money. I just don't know if United would go for that. I think we might be too far down the path of these are the players that we want. And then it's Anderson and then the rest. João Gomez is another option who you'll get for less money when he drops down.
Price.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not going to doubt his ability tonight. I think he's brilliant. I think he'd be a very, very good signing. I think he would be a lot happier going back to Italy, and I can see that happening on a cut price deal or something like that. He was heartbroken, wasn't he? He didn't even want to go to Newcastle or come to the Premier League when he left. He wanted to stay in Italy. So
Yeah.
I think that's where he'd want to go back to Italy. I'm fed up at Newcastle. Who wouldn't be? But yeah, I just thought it was an interesting one to add because we are obviously looking at centre midfielders, aren't we? Because it's a place that they're looking at doing. And yeah, like you say, goes on the list. The other one I just wanted to mention because it got me really excited because I mentioned last week that Yildiz would be my first option. So what do they go and do? Just sign a new contract
literally
24
that
hours later,
afternoon.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cheers, pal. Yeah. Thanks a
Yeah.
lot, mate.
I
It's like
remember
Fergie's
seeing
come
that.
and said, United, no, I'll sign a new deal. Yeah, so that was done, innit? But it seemed to unearth something else where it was like, oh, he signed a new deal. United are now interested in, I love him as a player, Njai from Everton is another one.
Well,
60 to 65 million is the quote that they would be willing to sell. I think he's brilliant.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I know that scouts were at the Parma Juventus game, and we talked about that. But and Yildiz was one of the players that they were looking at, but then he did sign that contract. And then the one after that was they were at Everton, or they had been scouting at Everton as well. But that was a few weeks ago. So and I think out of all the players that are at Everton, he is, I don't know who they were there to scout, but I know they was at the Everton game. He would obviously be one of those players that you would be looking at.
He's outstanding. He is.
Yeah.
He was brilliant at Old Trafford. I mentioned it on here. And every time I've seen him, every single time I've seen him, even when you just watch highlights of Match Day, everything that Everton do good was either from him or Grealish. And yeah, I think he'd walk into that United team on that left-hand side. And I think he'd probably be one of our best players. I think he's that good. Surprising. When he went to Everton, I thought, who's that lad? And he stood out straight away. Every single, his first touch, his ability on the ball, you can imagine him linking up with the lads that are already in there now and just keeping the ball. And he's bigger than what you actually think when you see him. Because I thought he was quite small. But no, he's bigger than what you think. Strong, good on the ball, confident. He's got a bit of arrogance about him as well. Socks around the ankles. The kind of lad that you pick in first 5 minutes if you're rubbish like me. But yeah, I think there's not many Premier League players. I think just go and get him and put him in the team, and he stands out as an obvious one to me. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Got me excited. I'd have him in straight away. Yeah,
I think he'd be a cheaper option than Diamande as well, unless Christopher Vivell can
different
make
players.
That deal happen.
One's frightening pace, and one is just a very, very good footballer. The likes of him, when I saw him, I thought straight away he's a PSG player.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Did he come? Did he come from the French league?
I think he came from like a youth team in France. Like PSG youth or something like that. Let's Google it.
I mean, we might as well. I'm on it now.
Filler.
I'm just
Get a bit of
now.
filler going there.
So it's what? He's played for Sheffield United?
Yeah, that's what I thought. When Everton signed him, I thought, Sheffield United, wow, okay.
Hyde United. So he'd have played a few games near you. And then Marseille.
Right, okay.
I know we didn't talk about these, but and I know we're going off on a tangent, but I will wrap up in a second. Roberto De Zerbi has just
left.
He's left. I don't know if it was by mutual accord.
It was.
But he's gone. And he was obviously linked to Manchester United. Before Ruben Amorim, he was linked to Manchester United, but apparently his salary demands were extortionate. Now, you think about the money that United give out to contracts anyway, and to hear that it was extortionate from him, like, is that going to be like re-looked at? Is United, do they still feel like De Zerbi might be the right person for the job?
I said we need a nutter. We don't need one who's that mental.
Yeah,
he's the crazy guy.
He just seems like an angrier Ruben Amorim, and I
Yeah.
don't think I've got
It
the
does.
heart for that, if I'm honest.
He caused
So,
caused an argument in an empty room, that lad, wasn't he? Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm
He
not.
daft.
But I mean, they got tanked 5-0 by PSG, so I think that kind of signed all of his cards that he needed to be
He's
signed.
one of them like Conte, where as soon as things start going wrong, they just go really, really wrong, don't they?
Yeah.
He's the same like that, yeah. And then he
Yeah,
just
it's
starts going around chinning people. Yeah.
it's all in or not in at all. It's there's no there are no other ways. Right, okay, there we go. We haven't got a match until the 24th of February, so next week it's going to be features led because it's time because we've missed 3 months, I think it is, maybe even 4, of the Fergie's Gum Hall of Fame, the Gummers Hall of Fame. We've got a good one that's coming up, so we'll do some more
Good
features next week.
understatement.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little,
Well, I
little
meant
hint.
just that.
Little hint.
I meant just our content, not the actual player.
Hey, yeah.
Above average. We're
Yeah.
We're Diogo Dallo, you know, with 6 and 7 out of 10 performances each week. We'll do it
In
consistent
HD though, isn't it? In
in
1080. I've never done that.
in HD now. Yeah, where you can see all the clips because we never post the whole thing on YouTube because we don't do any fancy graphics or any cuts and things like that. So if you do want to see our faces, especially Paul's beautiful shiny head right now in HD, you can see it on YouTube Shorts. So check that out. Fergie's Gum podcast on YouTube. Right, that's it. We've got a podcast next week, features led. We've got a cracker for you. Speak to you again next week.